I do want to say before I start this video, this is talking about health, and I need to add a caveat that this information is not intended to diagnose, prescribe, prognosticate, or treat any medical conditions, or replace the advice of a licensed doctor or healthcare practitioner. Any suggestions that I make are based on historical, self-taught, or traditional natural healing methods to help the body achieve balance and heal itself. So again, I'm not a doctor. These are just my opinions. Welcome back to this channel. I'm Maura Lippert, holistic nutritionist and functional medicine health coach, and this is my channel, Resilience, Strength, Recovery. Glad you're here. Share this video to your friends, and also like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I'm going to talk today about the immune system and how to have a kick-ass immune system. It's not necessarily what you think, and I will get into that. I will cover in this video the difference between germ theory and terrain theory and ideas on how to avoid getting sick. Of course, you know, if you've watched some of these videos, that I can't say some trigger words, so I'm going to call it the scary flu that has impacted us for the last 18 months. And I will be talking a little bit about what the media is talking about. And lastly, the secret at the end of the day to really good immune system, to really healthy immune system. So one thing to know, if you have not had a chance to look into what the recovery rates are for the scary flu, the chance of dying from it, even over 80, are very, very small. In fact, for kids, they're more likely to die from the flu than the scary flu that came out in March of 2020. The recovery rate, meaning the chance that you're going to recover if you get it, is between 98 and 99.998% for most people. Again, if you're over 80, there's higher risk, but a lot depends on how well you look after yourself, and I'll do other videos about that. A lot of this stems from something we call the germ theory, which was created by Louis Pasteur, or actually he repackaged it, so to speak. Others had brought it up, and he had a lot of influential friends, including Napoleon III, apparently. And his theory was that basically, no matter what the state of the body, there's a single-minded view that every disease has a host, and microbes are behind every illness. And basically, you're out of luck if you get it. You need pharmaceutical intervention. That's the current thinking. His views set out the way for the pharmaceutical companies to step in, and with the view that we're sick and we need help. And a lot of pharmaceutical products are made of petrochemical products, and I believe it was Rockefeller in the 1900s started vilifying natural medicines such as herbal and homeopathic, and actually infiltrated the medical schools in order to change the curriculum to promote pharmaceuticals. I'm not saying all pharmaceuticals are bad necessarily. Some certainly save lives, like antibiotics and insulin. However, Pasteur's theory laid the groundwork for the big pharma, is what I call it. Many truthers do. And big pharma is part of the reason that we're in the pickle that we are in. I believe that he repealed his theory upon death. The different theory is the terrain theory, which was championed by Dr. Béchamel. He certainly was less well known and connected. And his perspective is certainly the perspective I agree with, and natural medicine doctors and nutritionists and nurses do. history has branded Beauchamp a heretic at the time. He was branded a heretic. And his theory is certainly the one that I resonate with. Basically, he came out with, or he had proof that the body is in effect a series of microsystems and micro-ecosystems. And when the individual's ecosystems become unhealthy through toxins, poor nutrition, or other factors, then the body cannot fight as well. So his belief was that keeping the terrain or the body healthy will help the body from getting sick. At any rate, getting back to the germ and terrain theory, is these microorganisms can become overgrown, or there can be illness because the terrain is not healthy. So what gives us a healthy terrain? I will talk about that a little later, and that's the part that says it's not what you think. So before I go into details of how to actually support your immune system, I just want to give some resources that you may or may not know about. There's in Canada a Doctors Alliance, a doctor and healthcare practitioners called the Canadian COVID Alliance.org, and I will put this in the notes below. And in the United States, there's great resources in the America's Frontline Doctors.org. Both of those have protocols, and as far as I know, both of them have ways that you can access a doctor if you want a prescription that's not necessarily given out freely. I think you probably know what I'm talking about there. Also, it's important to know that when the media talks about tons of people in the hospital and the variant cases are going up, please know that a lot of the people in hospital are considered the unjabbed because they haven't either fully been jabbed with all of the necessary ones, including in some countries the boosters, or their jab history has relapsed. Their jab history has lapsed in that they have been too many weeks or months without, according to the passport. And it turns out the majority of the people in hospital being treated for the scary flu are people who have been jabbed. And there are a number of sources that are reliable that explain this. The mainstream media, of course, is bending the line and bending facts to suit them, to continue this belief that we're all going to die soon from the scary flu, which is total BS. Remember that we are our own inner healers, no matter who you rely on for your health care. Your body, your inner healer is the most important voice. And a lot of times it comes intuitively, just a knowing that something's not good for me and I'm not going to take it, or I'm not going to eat this. Listen to that. That is your inner healer speaking. That is self-sovereignty at its best. So I said I would go over things to help boost the immune system and give you a kick-ass immune system. And there are specific things that can be taken to avoid the scary flu. I'll go into that first. Dr. Vladimir Zelenko is one of the heroes in this area and has come out with a number of protocols for not only prevention but treatment. So I am a holistic nutritionist and functional medicine health coach. I work with people in office and online. And this is the protocol that I recommend. And again, this is based on Dr. Zelenko's. There are certainly other things that I will often recommend people take, but this is the basic one. elemental zinc, 25 milligram, vitamin D3. I personally preferred vitamin D3 with vitamin K because it's absorbed better. The recommendation for vitamin D is 4 to 10,000 units a day. In my work, I'll just add that I do muscle testing to make sure that your body recognizes the substance that you're going to take, because if it doesn't, it won't absorb it and you won't get the benefits of it. And you'd be surprised how many people are sensitive or don't recognize vitamin D. And that can be helped with bioenergetics. And I will do a video on that later to explain what that is. Bioenergetics is basically your body's way in recognizing what it's taking or something that's sensitive, to which your body is sensitive, and your body will then react in a more appropriate way. So zinc, elemental zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, 1,000 to 3,000 milligram a day is preferred. Now, vitamin D should be taken with food. Zinc should be taken with food. Vitamin C and the next one, it doesn't really matter. I take my vitamin C about 10 minutes before a meal. You can take it on an empty stomach or a full stomach. It doesn't matter. Some people can't take more than 1,000 milligram of vitamin C because they get the trots, they get the runs. So take it to bowel tolerance. You might want to take 1,000 milligram or 500 milligram a few times a day rather than all at once. Quercetin is a bioflavonoid and it's an antioxidant. It's excellent, again, to assist avoiding getting the scary flu. 500 milligram is the dose I use, one a day. And again, that doesn't have to be with food. And if you can't find quercetin, or you prefer, you can take something called ECGC, which is green tea extract. It has a technical name, but I won't bother giving it. Vitamin C, quercetin, and ECGC are all substances that help zinc work. Zinc is very hard for the body to absorb and metabolize, so what zinc does is helps virus from replicating or from getting more abundant in your body. So zinc is a really good thing, but it's important to take C and quercetin or green tea extract with it to help the zinc work. So that's the basic protocol. That's probably, most of that is what I would have most of my clients on anyway, just to help them with their immune system. However, the secret to this video and the big tagline is that if you don't have a healed gut, or if you don't heal your gut, your immune system won't work well at all, no matter what you give it, what food you're taking, what supplements you're taking, because they probably won't be absorbed. So when I work with clients, I do a sort of an emergency response to whatever their symptoms are, whether it's low immune system or low energy. So we use a few supplements or different protocols to help with that. And in the meantime, we address the leaky gut. So permeable gut syndrome or leaky gut used to be considered a conspiracy theory. It's now very valid. And when I took my health coaching course at the Institute of Functional Medicine, it was spoken about as a complete fact. And it's basically where various attacks on the gut have caused permeability or holes in the gut. Now, when I say gut, I'm talking about the intestinal lining, which is very important for absorption of nutrients and minerals and vitamins and micronutrients. In the intestinal lining, there are fingers called villi. Oh, I've got some black on there. And on the end of the fingers are tiny little things that shoot out. These are microscopic, the microvilli, and they absorb micronutrients. And in a leaky gut or a diseased gut, the villi are either broken or non-existent, or very few. And then a person is tired all the time and has no energy and they can't fight anything, or it's very difficult to summon an immune response. So what causes leaky gut? Number one is stress. Number two is toxins, so poor food, toxins in the environment. Sugar is terrible for leaky gut, or candy of any kind. Alcohol and coffee, unfortunately, coffee and tea in excess. Doesn't mean you can't ever have those things. It just means that if you have leaky gut, you might want to withdraw from them or minimize them for a while. Processed foods are guilty. Artificial flavors, of course, and food additives. There's thousands of food additives that can contribute to leaky gut. So that all causes stress on the endothelial lining, or the mucosal lining of the small intestine, which is very fragile. It's only 1 cell thick. So if you look at your hand, the skin on your hand is 7 cells thick. The mucosal lining, or the intestinal lining, is only 1 endothelial cell thick. So a hole can get blasted in it quite easily. Of course, bacteria that's overgrown, or parasites, or mycoplasmas, or various microbes can also contribute to leaky gut and make it worse. So 70% of our immune system is in the small intestines, is in the digestive tract. So if it's damaged, if it's diseased, your immune system will not work well. So that's why, along with supplements, I like to work with clients to help them heal their gut. And it can be hard work. And I had very chronic and debilitating irritable bowel that caused my gut to be extremely leaky, and I wasn't absorbing anything. I had no energy, and I wasn't really able to fight any illnesses, and I'll go into that one day. However, the root cause of this, and this is what we look at in functional medicine, what is the root cause? If someone has eczema, if someone has psoriasis, if someone has inflammation, if someone has an autoimmune condition, the root cause is usually the state of the digestive tract. In functional medicine, that's what we believe. So getting back to the causes, food, of course, is a huge contributor to this. And I recommend that people remember that you are not only what you eat, you are what you absorb. And if you have leaky gut, you may be missing a lot of the nutrients in your food. Of course, fresh is important. If you can grow your own food, even if it's just sprouts, that would be really fantastic. Organic is best, or organic type growing products. And support your local farmers. You know, a locally grown lettuce or arugula from a farm around the corner is obviously going to be way more nutrient dense than something that's been sitting on a plane for 3 weeks. And in Canada, in the winter, we certainly face that. If you can put away your own canned food or fermented food, that would be fantastic. And we know that in general, our food system is very sick, as is a lot of our agricultural system. So in order to heal leaky gut, it's a very involved process. When I was healing from my irritable bowel, which was caused by overgrown candida and fungus in the gut, which is very, very, very common. It took me about 6 months on a very strict diet and supplements, and then another 6 months just with a reduced diet and some supplements to heal. And I was very sick. Most of my clients, I find, do not need that kind of intervention, but some of them do, and some of them need more. There's great resources about diets online and helping with candida. Dr. Axe is a great source, and I particularly like the Weston A. Price Foundation. They have a fantastic library of resources. And of course, you can visit a functional medicine health coach like myself. And I am licensed to work, as I say, in office, and I'm licensed and insured to work online internationally. My website is www.guidedholistics.ca if you want more information. And I just invite you to consider what in your life may be contributing to a sick terrain and how you can heal from that. I invite you to leave me comments about what you'd like to see me do these videos about. If you have any recommendations, I appreciate it. Please do like and share this video. I'm sure there's somebody you know that could use this information. And if you want, you can hit that little bell to get notifications. I so appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you on future videos. For now, please be well, be happy, and I wish you a healed gut and great immune system. Namaste.